What is this? What is this? For today's video, I wanted to do a winter themed book tag. I know it is still fall, and I'm still upset that spooky season is over. However, it snowed today, and I was really feeling the winter vibes, and I thought this book tag was super cute, so I thought I would do this tag. Also, I just really love doing tag videos. I can't even deny it. They're just so much fun. As usual, I probably won't tag anyone in this video, but if you feel so inclined to do this tag, please feel free to let me know so I can check it out. Without further ado, let's get to it. So I have always felt like Shiver was the epitome of a great winter cover. So we've got like the light blues going on. It's got this like kind of metallic-y look to it. The trees and the white and everything, and it takes place during the winter months in Minnesota. And I don't know, I just always have thought that this was like the epitome of like a beautiful winter cover. I don't know. Even though there are leaves on it, and like normally there aren't leaves on the trees in the winter. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. This is the book I chose. I'm gonna choose 500 Miles from You, and I just finished this book a couple days ago. This book was so sweet. It was a romance. I've said this before. I don't really read a lot of romances, but this was a very sweet. It was kind of like You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks. So there were these two nurses, and one of them had experienced a really traumatic event and was going through PTSD, and the other was from this small town 500 miles north. So the woman is from London, and the guy is from like in the middle of nowhere in Scotland, and they kind of switch places at each other's hospitals so that she can get away from the city, and then he can kind of experience a whole different viewpoint of life and like enhance his medical skills. I'm pretty sure that like that would be totally illegal to do at any real hospital, but I digress. And basically they are in contact with each other so that they can take care, they can chat privately about patients that they now share because they're working for each other, I guess. I'm doing a really weird job explaining this, but this book was super cute and made me very warm inside. I would say as another contender, even though I talk about this book a lot, my other contender would be Bookish and the Beast, because this book just gave me the warm fuzzies inside and was just so cute and would be a really nice read to just sit down and read next to the fire. So for this one, I'm gonna say Felix Ever After, which was another recent read. And if you're familiar with the book, you'll know that the beginning especially, Felix goes through something that is very traumatic, I would say, and kind of pushes him into this, I mean, it's what propels the plot forward in the first place, and kind of this whole questioning of identity and everything that can be really brutal, especially for a teenager. And I would say that that would be my answer for this one. Okay, yeah, I have to move my rose. Okay, hold on. A Great and Terrible Beauty by Liva Bay. This trilogy. So here is why. I have always fantasized about living during like Victorian era in England. Now I know that that's like partially my white privilege speaking, because that time period was definitely not good for everyone. But just the fashion and the idea of going to balls and experiencing such a life, and something about like horse-drawn carriages. I don't know if it's the fact that it's just very romantic, or so different from today's life and world and fashion. I just, between this and like every Jane Austen novel, which is a different era, like I understand that, I dream about it. So I kind of railed away from the original question for this. I didn't really like the original question. I didn't think it was something relatable that I would be able to find a book for. So I decided instead to go with an underrated book. And I'm gonna say Legend by Marie Lu. This series was so good, and I don't think enough people talk about it. There are a few people recently who have read it and started talking about it, and I'm like, finally, like I have found the fandom of this trilogy that I completely fell in love with. And I think that so here's what I think happened, is that this came out in the same time span of The Hunger Games and Divergent and these other dystopian, not Maze Runner I think was in there too. They came out during that kind of same like hype period of all of these dystopian novels, and they all got movie adaptations, and Legend never had a movie adaptation, and I think it made it fall to the wayside. But I would argue that this book was definitely better than the Divergent series, like by a million. I would say it's probably on the same tier for me as The Hunger Games, and in terms of world building and how interesting it was and intricate it was. But they're very different trilogies, so you can't really compare them in the same way because it's two different worlds. But I would say like they're pretty neck and neck for how good they are, and this book is so underrated. If you haven't watched my book review on it, where I go a little bit more in depth about this series, definitely go watch it, because and then go read it and then talk to me about how much you love it, because I loved it. What makes a book soothing, right? Like, sorry, it's still snowing outside, and it looks beautiful. Hold on, let's take a trip over there. It's so beautiful. Now that we're done with that, you guys want to see my renegade? Okay, I need to stop quoting TikToks. I am an embarrassment. Okay, like what makes a book soothing, right? I don't read a lot of poetry necessarily. It's not that I don't like poetry, it's just not a genre that I go out of my way to read for myself. And I would argue that a lot of the books I read don't necessarily have soothing language to them. So I went with So I decided to go with The Hobbit. Tolkien and the way that he writes it brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. I don't know what it is about Tolkien's writing, but something about it is just very childlike wonder, I guess, in a way. But also, I don't know, I can't describe it. If you've read The Hobbit, you probably know what I'm talking about. I just can't put it into words right now. The snow is making me have brain fog, apparently. But yeah, the way that he tells of adventures, the way that he tells the story, it really makes you feel like you're a little kid sitting, by the fire, and your parents are reading you a book, or your grandma's reading you a story. Like, that's kind of how this feels to me. And that might not be universal, but that's kind of how I feel about it. So if you feel the same way, that's what this book is for me. Favorite drink this time of year. Okay, so this is an interesting question. Food-wise, nothing. I suppose I really like sugar cookies with cinnamon in them. And, well, chocolate chip cookies are my all-time favorite, so but then drink-wise, if I'm drinking something from home, I normally just drink, my normal coffee. I put cinnamon in it, and I really like the frosted sugar cookie creamer that they have this time of year. It's so good. Otherwise, I just have my normal coffee at home, but if I'm going somewhere, I'll do like a seasonal drink sometimes at like a Starbucks or something. I don't know what it's called. There's the caramel one and the peppermint mochas. I'm a big fan of all that stuff, but if I'm looking for something that's not caffeinated, I suppose okay, this is gonna be like super intense. Okay, my hot chocolate recipe. Okay, your choice of milk in a pan. Make it warm. You must stir, do not burn your milk. And then you put chocolate chips in. Okay, couple butterscotch chips. Hear me out. You put in a little bit of vanilla extract. And for the season, you can put peppermint in there, like a candy cane to stir it. And then I drink that with whipped cream and marshmallows and peppermint candy canes. It is like the most delicious, soul-warming drink on the planet. Also will rot your teeth. Otherwise, I don't know, I drink a lot of water, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's my seasonal drink. Okay. That's it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to do this tag, remember to send it to me because I really want to watch it. If you aren't already following me on Instagram, please go over to Instagram and follow me at emil.yreadsbooks. That is where I post most of my book reviews, what I'm currently reading, books I'm looking forward to, yada yada yada. If you want to be updated on that kind of stuff, check me out over on Instagram. It is not too late to join our Buy Book Club. If you want to follow along, we are reading Star-Crossed by Barbara D. I think that's it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I post a new video every week. Stay warm. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you next time.